Welcome back. This is Today and Entrepreneurship. My journey is back. In 2018, Lovelyn Bassey ventured into business with her mother. They created a direct selling company that was designed to empower the African continent's entrepreneurial spirit. Using different forms of technology, their company, Healthgarde, provides a health product and training as well as some support. It's headquartered in Lagos, and its consultants offer a range of its products across the continent as well as in the United States. And of course, you've got many different ventures that you are into. This is but one of the ventures that you have created for yourself and the betterment of the continent. Thank you very much for joining us in studio, Lovelyn.
Thank you so much.
Let's start with that journey, the decision to go into business, and the decision to go into business with family, because that's usually something that's frowned upon for fear of squabbles that may end relationships. Tell us a little bit about that journey.
So when we decided we were going to start this business, it was quite interesting because I had my law degree, I have my law firm, and I just started a side business, an ethnic store. And we're like, okay, but this is what paid my fees. Like, we've been in direct selling since 2001, and that's what paid my way through varsity, all of my degrees and all of that. And then we're talking about starting our own company. But I'm looking at my mom. She is like, she's an icon in the direct selling industry in Africa. And now I get to work with her. So yes, there was that moment of, wow, it would be so great to work with this icon. But then I'm like, oh gosh, she's my mother. She's African, she's black. And you know, there's that thought about, what if we're sitting in a boardroom and she goes, hey, shush, I'm your mother. So I thought about that, but then if I look at her journey and how she's empowered so many women, it was just a privilege to be included in that space. And when we officially launched in 2020, it was so amazing. The way she gave me the platform to just do what I needed to do. She gave me my space to be creative, to contribute my voice, being the youngest of the team, the whole executive team, like everybody's got at least 20 years on me. So, but she gave me that space. And over time, there is that respect that she's also given to me as a business person in my right. Yeah. And her giving me that room to grow allowed our relationship to get even better. I can tell you that I am better friends with my mom now, years later, and I'm not sure a lot of kids can say that in business with their parents.
Yeah, so your journey and what you've been able to draw on from your mother as a businesswoman has given you various insights on being able to build a business and empowering Africans on the African continent. Why is that component of business so important for you as opposed to the profits that Healthgarde or your ethnic store that you've just mentioned, which I think provides a Caribbean goods? You should tell us about that in a moment, but why was it so important to have a component outside of profits and growth for just yourselves as a business?
Growing up in the industry, I saw how the business we were in actually changed a lot of women's lives. Yep. And yes, it's a business for both men and women. It's actually, in our line of business, in our company, we're founded to lean more towards women. And we see what it practically does, how it takes someone from nothing and someone has no money for bread, and suddenly they're able to send the kids to private school. And you're empowering and changing somebody's life, not because somebody said so, but it's something that you can see that you are involved in. Every step of everything that you do results in someone's life being changed. That alone is more rewarding than profits, because let's face it, even if you make $1 million today, you can go blow it on something trivial that makes no difference to anybody else in the world. But as Africans, we need to be more concerned about our impact in Africa. Yes, we want flashy things. Yes, we want the fine things of life. We want to fly private jets, and we want to carry designer bags and all of that stuff. But what's more important is uplifting another African that you can see in your society, not just far away somewhere, but you have a direct impact in that life. And that, for me, trumps profit any day.
Yeah. What are some of the challenges that you've seen Africans face when they venture into business? I know we've had COVID-19. It probably presented an opportunity because you've made use of technology in the running of your business. But COVID-19, tough economic climate across the continent, it's difficult for someone who wants to venture into business on the African continent to look in which direction? Where do they even start? In your engagement, what are some of those big issues, and how are you advising they navigate those issues?
It's so interesting that you mentioned COVID-19, because when we launched our company in 2020, COVID-19 was a far thing for us.
Yeah.
It wasn't like our world. And literally 1 month after the launch of our company, the whole world went into lockdown.
Yeah.
So we had to evolve, we had to change the way we do things. Being in a business where people have to interact with you one-on-one, and we deal with a lot of people who are not as educated. We're talking about maybe not even having matric. And now you're telling them you have to go on Zoom, and they're looking at you like you're crazy. We had to change a lot. And in the same year, we then purchased 2 brands, Sporttrend and Swissguard in South Africa. And that's how our Southern African company came to be. Now, that's all inside of COVID going on. And we are trying to get finance.
Yes.
And the banks are looking at you like, who's going to buy your products? Like,
Yeah.
There's nothing happening here. And we're trying to announce ourselves. And there's that skeptic look on people's faces like, first of all, you're African. Let's start from there. And you're taking over this 30-year-old brands, Swissguard and Sporttrend, and you're telling me you just launched a company, it's health. And then they look at me, they can understand my mom. She's older, and people know her, and they look at me like, yeah, you've got your law degrees, you've got your masters. We're not sure. Maybe you're trying to just play games on our intelligence and stuff like that. But one of the things that I've learned through this journey is you can never give up on your dream. It's going to be hard. You are going to fail. There are multiple times through this journey of just starting our company that we have failed in so many different ways in between. But we have learned, and we have not let any one of those failures paralyze us. We have learned to evolve, and we continue the journey. We continue the fight. Because I don't see what I do as I'm doing it for me. I see that I'm doing it for my community, for my generation, and for my children's generation, because there's no jobs are not really out there. We have to create a better world through entrepreneurs for each and every person out there. And what better way to do it than to create that opportunity and that area where people can thrive, make money, be happy, change their stories. So it gives me great joy. What I do brings me joy.
Yeah. And then just a final thought from you, the growth prospects that we could look forward to for your business, and opportunities that you're hoping to create in the medium to the long term.
So one of my greatest desires is that Healthgarde will be known all over Africa. Let's start from there. We are currently in 7 African countries, so we want to keep growing across Africa. And yes, it's great to be in Europe and in America, and we do sell some of our products in the US. But for me, the greater joy is to be known in my own place, in my own home. So affecting lives, creating entrepreneurs. And one of the things that I started doing, and this came from a friend that said to me, why don't you talk about some of your journey? Yes, you're young, but there are a lot of young people that are entrepreneurs, are starting out, that are thinking about starting out. So I started a podcast called I Am Entrepreneurial with Lovelyn. And I'm still thinking like I'm crazy for doing that, but it's stuff that I'm learning. And I think it's good to share those, because when you get to that stage of where my mom is and the elders that have come before us, when your mom talks to you, she doesn't talk to you like, come girl, sit, you lost money, so let's talk about this a little bit. She goes, hey, Ntanam, let's talk about this. You are not going out there and losing more money. So it's a different conversation that I feel if I share my story now and I try to help more people now, by the time I get there, it's already documented. I've already carried a whole generation along with me. And that's what I look forward to.
Yeah, thank you very much for your time. And we appreciate you taking the time to join us in studio. And very good luck to you and all the ventures that you're currently engaged in.
Thank you very much.
That is Lovelyn Bassey, who's the co-founder and Group Chief Operating Officer at Healthgarde. And of course, as you heard, many other projects that she's working on to take people along on that entrepreneurial journey with her.